Hey guys, this is Cracker221 and welcome to part 63 of Let's Play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This part is specifically dedicated to doing the Sunry Murder Trial. So what we want to do first is go to the judges and tell them we want to represent Sunry.
I have 3 soldiers in the infirmary. If the Republic soldiers were more capable, they would not have suffered such serious injuries. Are my soldiers to be punished simply because they won a fair fight?
I hardly call 6 against 3 a fair fight. The Sith are cowards who attack only when they have the advantage of numbers.
I am aware of the Republic's indignation. However, witness reports clearly state that your Republic soldiers were as willing to engage in violence as the Sith in this case.
They were provoked, Your Honor. The Sith goaded them into this fight.
Taunts and threats are not sufficient provocation in the eyes of this court. Words can be ignored, which is what your men should have done. They're both at fault for this breach of peace. I should throw all parties involved in the Auto City jail, but since no self-casts were harmed in this conflict, I will show mercy and levy a fine of 10,000 credits to both sides. Alright, so there's an example of the court, I guess. So let's talk to Sheriff Carr. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So, okay. I would like to investigate the murder case involving Sunry. That is acceptable, I believe. In my non-legal tradition, the defendant can have an arbiter who tries to prove his innocence in court. This arbiter is a neutral party that can investigate and present evidence in the trial and argue on the defendant's behalf. As you are a Jedi, I believe you could fill this role adequately.
I suppose you're Sunry's only hope. We have to at least try to help him.
So be it. You are now appointed arbiter in the case of Sunry versus the Sith Empire. Your name and position have been recorded in our files. I will now inform you of the pertinent facts in the case. You have a limited amount of time in which to investigate and organize a defense of your client, and I advise you to use it wisely. Sunry was seen leaving a hotel, leaving behind a dead Sith woman, Ilasa Huros. He has been charged with murder and is being held in Auto City prison facilities. Due to his crippled status, he is being kept. Crap, I didn't get to read it. Witnesses claim to have seen the killing and are being detained in the hotel in question pending the trial. The manager of the hotel has now been informed of your appointment. Oh, that was quick. Elasso was found dead of a blaster wound with an incriminating Republic medal clutched in her hand. This information has been uploaded to your datapad. It would be wise to review all information before the trial starts. You may question Sunry or the witnesses. The evidence in this case is heavily stacked against Mr. Sunry. I believe it will take some doing to absolve him of guilt.
Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious.
You may also interview the judges here, including myself, to get an idea of the pertinent factors in this case. Since this is also your first case, and you are an all-four, I feel compelled to add good luck as my final missive. He told us good luck. Thanks, Mr. Fishman. Alright. That took quite a bit of time. But now, let's go talk to Sunry, I guess. And he is right over here. Do I have to talk to the dude to get in here? Yep. Okay, I must talk to the warden to start the trial, and I think the warden's in here. But we don't want to start the trial yet. Not even close.
Jolie, what are you doing here? Laura sent me, Sunry. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case. Just like old times, eh, Jolie? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire. You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case. The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. So I thought. But the cellcast seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed.
Let's go over the evidence.
Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Alonso there that night, but it's not what you think. I was working with Republic Intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith. When I turned Alessa into a double agent working for us. It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her. Had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Alassa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you. Further, they say they found my hero's cross at the crime scene. Could I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Cellcat, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial.
I need to investigate the case some more. Any ideas where I should look?
Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. The Cellcat already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with offloaders. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But I think you'd be better off investigating the Sith themselves. Maybe you could find some proof they planted evidence to frame me. Though that might mean figuring out a way into the Sith embassy. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial.
I'll be going now. So we need to go.
Well. Once you've got enough evidence to go
whoops.
to trial, just tell the warden we're ready. The sooner I get out of the cell, the better.
So now we want to go to the hotel that we passed by earlier that I said we would go back to. And I believe... Well, it's got to be this way then. To West Central. Yeah, so this is a long trial. A long side quest with a lot of running around. Quite a few loading screens. A lot of dialogue. Crap. Where am I? Okay. I may not have enough time to do another dialogue in this part. I'm already up to 8 minutes. Oh well, I'll just break the video up, I guess. Okay, there's where we want to go. Now we want to talk to the
You were the one defending
innkeeper.
Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want too.
Tell me what you saw the night of the murder.
The Sith woman, Alassa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast.
That
I
was
swear he
mean.
started after the shot, though.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure he left after the shot went off.
Could it have gone off after he left?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court.
I want to ask you something else.
What do you want to know?
Do you know about Sunry and Alassa?
Alassa used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunry would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on.
Who are the witnesses in the hotel?
There were only 2 other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Glupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally, I
He has a
don't let
name
this
for that
guy in
type.
here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Feareth Me. He's a Pazak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know?
I have no more questions for now.
Well, okay. you need anything else, I'm gonna be right here.
Alright, so now we want to talk to all the people in the hotel. Sounds like a good plan. I guess we'll start with the Pazak player, Feareth Me.